within the Cabinet Office in your previous role, you were heavily involved in the digital strategy. To what degree are you going to be rolling that out in health?
I think the digital strategy is absolutely essential to health. We're already seeing the digital strategy giving massive improvements. Let's take, for instance, the digitisation of patient records, that once it is completed, we'll have digitised over 100,000 patient records and got rid of 16 million pieces of paper from out of the health service. Now, that figure is absolutely staggering when you think that was the amount of paper that was hanging around and being moved every time someone needed to be treated. It will save time and it will save money. And I think the future use of technology across the health service is the way to go. And it also improves patient safety as well, because there's less chance of things getting lost or going missing.
This review of the department that was approved in Tynwald this month, this year marks the 70th birthday of the NHS. Could this be the final year of that model as we know it?
And I've heard several of my colleagues worrying about this. To be perfectly honest, I think people are preempting what the review is going to do and what it's going to deliver. From my point of view, I welcome this review because it's the first proper review that isn't just looking at the funding, but looking at the way we deliver services. I don't think talking about the way we deliver services means we should all suddenly worry the entire thing's going to be privatised, which I've seen going around on social media. What we've got to do, and you rightly say the NHS this year is 70 years old. From my point of view, all we've done over those 70 years is take the base model and tack things on. We're now in the 21st century and we need to have a service that delivers for people now, not people then. And I think what we need to do is have a proper holistic approach where forget what's happened over the last 70 years and say if you had a blank sheet of paper today and you were designing this newfangled NHS thing, what would you do as services? How would you deliver those services? And then how would you fund those services? And I think the problem's been in the past, the argument has always been reversed. We've started with the funding and said, there's a pot of money, what can we deliver for that? And that's where previous reviews, I think, have gone wrong and failed. And I welcome the Treasury Minister's review because it has made absolutely clear that it will be a review of everything.
In the previous administration, under the leadership of Howard Quayle as then Health Minister, there was a 5-year strategy launched. Has any progress been made with that?
There has been some progress. From my personal point of view, I don't think maybe enough. We are in now year 3 of that 5-year health strategy. I made clear in Tynwald that from my point of view, although we've got a health review going on, that's not a case of the department sitting back and thinking this review will solve everything and so we don't have to do anything between now and January 2019. The department's own internal improvement programme must and will continue alongside that.
Because that's an interesting point. When you're doing such a fundamental review of the health services in the Isle of Man, it's not really a time for radical changes within a department, because you could derail the review itself if you start to change things fundamentally that are being reviewed and evaluated. Are you and your officers going to be treading water for the next year?
No, not at all. Like I say, there is a cost improvement programme already underway. There's certain restructuring that has been in the pipeline for quite a while. There's also, as I mentioned, digital strategy and several digital enablers that we are going to continue with. We are not going to sit back and just wait a year and say, oh well, we've agreed a review in Tynwald. That gets the department off the hook. We don't have to do anything. The day-to-day improvement work in the department should be continuing alongside any review, and I've made it absolutely clear that that will be happening.